Anytime we are going to utilize images within a Microsoft article, PowerPoint, Google Doc, etc., we always need to make sure that we include a description of any images that we include because it is called alternative text. The reason for this is if someone are unable to see the image, someone using a screen reader can listen to the description of what that image is. If we do not add alternative text to the images, whether they are decorative or not, that are inside our document, first of all, it's considered inaccessible. Secondly, the person utilizing a screen reader will not understand what the image is. Screen readers separate images and URLs or any links that are within an article when they are reading those items to someone using a screen reader. So for example, if someone using a screen reader was listening to this document, the top part would be red and it would jump down here. At the conclusion of the article, then it would go through images and it would say image of. Now, if there is no alt text for this image, it will say the name of the image. For example, a screen reader would say image of img4932.jpg. Hearing a file name for an image doesn't quite help the person very much. So what we are going to do is we are going to click on the image and we're going to make sure that it has these dots around it. That helps us know that we've actually picked on the image. Now you can either go up to picture format, or honestly the easiest way is to right click on the picture. Down towards the bottom it'll say edit alt text. It might also just say alt text, and this box will appear on the right. And it gives you some instructions on how to do this. Now, I can generate an AI alt text which says an open book with a drawing of plants, which isn't necessarily wrong. So you can use that if you want, and if it is descriptive enough, you can keep it. You can also mark something as decorative. Again, when you roll your cursor over this, there's an explanation, but usually if you're using borders or lines or things that if someone doesn't know are there, they're not missing much. In this case, what I'm actually going to do is copy the caption underneath the photo because that's describing the image, and I'm going to use that as my alt text. So when I came down here and I copied the text, this became inactive. The reason is because I was no longer selecting on the photo. So I'm just going to paste that back in, add the missing period, and that's all you need to do. There is no save. You can just close this. I'm going to select somewhere else off the image. So this goes gray. And I'm going to go down to the next image that we have. So this one, again, it did have an alt text that I removed for these purposes, but I can generate a description if I would like that this is a close-up of the book. We could do better than that, because if someone can't see this image, that's really not that fabulous of a description. But this was the previous alt text. So again, this has gone gray because I clicked off the image. Once I click back on the image, I can add that in. So you can leave this box up always as you are working through a document to make sure that you don't miss anything. There is one more, and this again does not have alt text because I removed it, and good old AI is gonna repeat itself that it's just a close-up of an old book, but no, it really isn't. So this is actually a close-up in the margin for lizard shampoo, which I think is really cool. Now, I could end the alt text right there, but if I'm someone who is trying to hear what that description is or what that recipe is, and it's not in the body of the article already, then I would include the recipe. Since it is in the body of the article and someone using a screen reader will hear it in the text portion, then I'm just going to include the close-up part of lizard shampoo. Again, you don't need to mark save. There isn't even a save option. You just close out the window when you're done, but at least now it's accessible.